So today I woke up and I decided to choose, well, violence. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and today guys we are going to be talking about my least favorite Stephen King books. But before we get into that, please do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel as it does help the channel grow. And you can check the description box down below for links to all of my social media, including my Patreon/book club, which you can join for as little as $1 a month, as well as my Pango bookstore and the Wizards Enclave Discord if you want to join a great bookish community. With that out of the way, I'm going to start this video by prefacing that I am a huge King fan. I consider myself a constant reader. I am approaching 40 books read from the master of horror. However, the thought process behind making this video is there's a quote from King that I probably heard 2 or 3 years ago, and it kind of highlights what I like the least about King's writing. And I'm going to do my best to kind of read it. I've got it written down. I'm going to try and do it from memory. I'm probably going to have to look down a couple times. But it's, I recognize terror as the finest of emotions. And so I will try and terrorize the reader. If I cannot terrorize the reader, I will try and horrify the reader. And if I cannot horrify the reader, I'm just going to go for the gross out. And usually when King goes for the gross out, it's basically my interpretation is he's just kind of given up. And that kind of highlights the last book that we're going to talk about. Because it's a very popular King book, and because he goes for the gross out, if you follow the channel, you know what book I'm talking about. But again, we're going to save that one to last. And that got me thinking of what else does King do that maybe hasn't aged particularly well or just doesn't quite resonate with me as a reader. And we're going to start with this book over here. I know you can already see one. We're going to start with Kujo. And I know Kujo is a very popular but divisive King book. You either love Kujo or you hate it. And again, another couple of the books on the list are going to fall into this category, where essentially King writes novels, he writes short stories, and he writes novels. And I am of the opinion that he doesn't always know what should be a novella, what should be a novel, and what should be a short story. And for me, Kujo felt like a short story or a novella. Basically, Kujo's too long. There's a whole plot thread that we're like following characters that we don't really need to follow. And another issue that I have with it is A, King doesn't remember writing this. He was high while he wrote it. And B, the circumstances that have to happen in order for Kujo to take place are astronomically slim. And it doesn't really read as horror to me. It just reads as, well, that sucked. And I don't know, it didn't feel like horror to me. It felt like somebody who was either A, incompetent, B, like got trapped when they shouldn't have gotten trapped, or C, like King just wanting to do something that was highly, like just unlikely. It was inconceivable to me that the events lined up where like people were forwarding their mail, or people were just happened to be out of town, or Kujo's gone and killed everybody on the block and nobody's noticed. And it just didn't ring true to me. And it felt like it could have been so much shorter. And I just didn't enjoy the reading experience of Kujo at all. And for that reason, it's one of my least favorite King books. And please feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree about any of these picks, because I know people are going to disagree with me. Then we've got Different Seasons here. And most of these just felt like they should have been short stories. The only novella in Different Seasons that I liked was The Breathing Method. Apt Pupil jumps the shark, and it's like the actual premise is better than the execution. Where like you've got this Nazi and you've got this young boy who's obsessed with Nazis, and then like halfway through the novella, like they just both start being evil again for no particular reason in the same manner. It just doesn't work for me. And then The Body, while The Body was good, again, another great premise. This is one of the ones where I feel like the movie might have done it better. I haven't seen Stand By Me, but like we keep doing these asides because basically it's a flashback story where we've got this individual who is recalling an event from their youth, but he happens to be a writer. So within the novella is sprinkled in some of his writing, And I hated it. Like, just give me the flashback of your youth. Stop giving me the sides that go nowhere. You've put short stories inside of your novella that are completely unconnected. I really, really dislike that. And then I can't even remember. Let's see, at Pupil. Oh, Rita Hayworth in Shawshank Redemption is good. It is good. I actually kind of forgot it was in here. It's good, but again, it's not enough to make me love this collection. And overall, I was just kind of like, on different seasons. So now that I remember Shawshank is in here, like Shawshank is really good. Breathing Method's really good. Everything else is kind of So yeah, there's that. We've got Fairy Tale. And Fairy Tale by Stephen King is one of his more recent releases. And essentially what we've got here is we've got 30 to 40% of a really, really good novel. And then afterwards, like, it just falls off a cliff. We go into this other realm, and it doesn't really work for me. The characters stop being interesting, and I don't really understand the motivations other than to try and save this dog. And by the end of the book, I was like, man, I'm glad this is done. I don't really have a whole lot to critique Fairy Tale on other than it just didn't work. Yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Fairy Tale. Didn't really particularly enjoy that reading experience. Then we've got this one. This is on the list, but it is more of an honorable mention because I'm only 40% through this, but I am bored to tears. This is Thinner by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. And the premise, really, really good. But this is another instance where this didn't need to be a novel. Because the amount of... The only thing sustaining you here is the tension. But the story itself is very, very simple and straightforward. You 100% know where this story is going within 30 pages. Within 30 pages, you know how the whole story is going to play out. It's not going to end well. And it's a progression downward. And it doesn't particularly have a likable protagonist. But at the same time, like, I enjoy reading from his perspective. But I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy the weight loss and the dive into anorexia nervosa. Like, it's just like, okay, like, I get it. You've been gypsy cursed. And it's all going bad for you because it's other people's fault that you did this terrible, terrible thing. It's like, okay, I get it, I guess. So, yeah, that's Thinner. More of an honorable mention. I haven't finished it. But, like, as soon as, like, I swear the phones are listening because now all of a sudden I'm getting, like, clips from the Thinner movie. And I've already seen, like, it threw a clip for the end of the Thinner movie at me into my algorithm. And so I already know how the movie ends. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. Thanks, algorithm, for spoiling my book. That's great. And then, do I want to do another honorable mention here? Or do I just want to... Yeah, let's do an honorable mention. This has a part of it that I don't like. And this is where we kind of lean into that quote with the gross out. We've got Dolores Claiborne. And this is mostly a really good book. Mostly a really good book. Much like the last book that I'm going to talk about. And Dolores is actually really, really good. Except for a section where we are dealing with Dolores and Vera, her employer, while basically Dolores has turned into this woman's caretaker. And we're dealing with Vera trying to get revenge on Dolores or play tricks on Dolores by crapping herself. She plays this game where she tries to mess herself, and then Dolores has to come up with tactics to try and catch her before she can do so. And at some point, Vera wins, and then we've got to deal with Dolores, like, cleaning up feces. And it's gross. I didn't enjoy reading that at all. And it's like 20 pages. It's not a brief mention of, like, oh, Vera did this to me. No, it's a chapter. It is... okay, the book doesn't have any chapters, but it is a chunk of the book where we have to deal with Vera and Dolores playing this cat and mouse game with Vera's excrement, and I just didn't enjoy it. Okay, that out of the way, that's more of an honorable mention because, like I said, Dolores Claiborne, mostly a really good book. But finally, we come to the one where people are going to yell at me. It's Wizard and Glass, but book number 4 of the Dark Tower. And the reason I don't have a physical copy is it's all the way up there and I didn't feel like getting a stool to get it down. And essentially, this is some of the best character work that King does within the Dark Tower. And sometimes I would say in general, like, Wizard and Glass is a really strong story. And for some reason, he felt the need to add in multiple sections of gross out. It wasn't a horror story to begin with, so I don't know why he felt the need to inject gross out into the story, but it spoiled the entire reading experience for me. We've got the pervy mayor who will pop out of closets and do weird stuff. We've got the gross witch who just likes to fondle people and lick cats. We've got, that's just some of the stuff that bothered me, and I don't particularly enjoy being grossed out in a story that felt like it didn't need it. That felt like that could have easily been edited out of Wizard and Glass, and it would have made the story way better. Way, way better. It's elements in there that don't need to be there. That's where I feel King needed to be edited in that moment. Somebody needed to tell him, hey, no, this cheapens your story because you've got the peak of what could have been the Dark Tower for me. And a lot of people forgive the gross out tactics that King does in here. I don't give him a pass on this because the book is so good that it didn't need to be there. It was 100% unnecessary and didn't serve the story at all. At all. I hate the fact that these elements are in Wizard and Glass. And for that reason, it's one of my least favorites of the Dark Tower, unless we're talking about Wind Through the Keyhole, which is, again, a double-nested narrative that serves no purpose to the Dark Tower. But these are my least favorite King books. Again, feel free to come at me in the comments, or better yet, tell me your least favorite King books in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm only halfway through the man's catalog, so this list could change. But that's all I've really got for today, guys. I hope you are doing well. Till next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion and my hobby. It means the world to me.